Good evening. I'm drinking a beer from a very small new brewery. The beer is called Prime, and the brewery is called Goodfire. So this is maybe the newest brewery in Portland, Maine. I went there last winter and really enjoyed their beers, snagged a 4-pack of Prime, and I liked it a lot. I didn't do a video review because it was so small, new, small batch. I didn't know if anyone would really care, but I've been thinking this was a really darn good beer, and my friend picked up some cans for me, so I'm going to do a video review, and maybe eventually Goodfire will be the next Bissell or something, and people will really care about them. So Prime is just like, I think basically their flagship IPA. It's 6.5% Citra focused, but there is Amarillo in there. When I had it last, I guess it was February. It reminded me of the soft creaminess of Treehouse beers. And I just also went to Treehouse this week, so now I'll be able to kind of really compare it. Having tasted Treehouse very recently, I don't know when this was canned, but I think it was a batch, a really fresh batch. This is probably less than 2 weeks old. Looks very pale and nice haze. That looks good, looks just like it did last time I got it. Yep, nice, really pale color, very hazy, but not murky. Catches the light nicely there, really, really pale golden. Beautiful beer, and a really nice head. And maybe this is somewhere between Finback and Finback and Treehouse. The yeast is not that really distinctive blend that you get from Treehouse. There's no other yeast that it tastes exactly or even really that close to Treehouse, in my opinion. This one seems to really bring out the candy, like vanilla, cotton candy qualities of the Citra hops, and I guess there's probably some sweet spiciness coming from the yeast itself, and fruity esteriness too. It smells a lot like pineapple and coconut. But it really seems like this could have been one of them milkshake IPAs. It's coming out here with these notes, these creamy notes, vanilla. There's no lactose or vanilla added to this or anything, but it sure smells like a vanilla milkshake, which is pretty cool. And buried in there's creamsicle, actual like orange Julius sort of sherbet things coming out, but I'm getting mostly like a big vanilla in the nose right now. And maybe a little bit of some canned peaches, pineapples, and syrup. But that is pretty nice. Yeah, and the feel in the tongue is soft and not very bitter. Really cool beer. I heard that this brewery was years in the making, and they have been trying to open for a long time, so it seems like they opened and they had their recipes, they had their brewing process for these beers down, because this tastes exactly like I remember it did basically from last winter, and they opened last fall, so like, props to them for consistency, because I've had a lot of these hazy IPAs that were very inconsistent. And even though it's hot and humid here, we still got a little bit of head in there. This is just seems like a perfectly brewed New England style IPA. If you want a softer one, this one I wouldn't say is the juiciest. And the burps smell creamy. Yeah, I like this a lot. I would probably give this a 4 or 5 already. I think I gave it a 4.25 last time on Untapped, but it's really well done. I've been drinking so many different fancy hazy IPAs lately, anywhere from Hill Farmstead all the way to the Midwest to Microphone, and then I've had Treehouse and Trillium in the past week, and Finback and Bissell Brothers, and this one is still standing out amongst all those and doing a really good job of what it does, but it's really big on the candy notes, I would say, but then it's Not too sweet though. It seems like it's going to be really sweet. And the mouthfeel is like kind of soft and fluffy just a little bit, but it's light. And it finishes with just a little bit of a minerally sort of thing. Now I'm noticing some kind of chalky notes. It's like, it's not a weird chalky feel exactly on the tongue too much. They get a little bit of that flavor with the minerality in the finish that is good, but maybe after a few more sips it'll become a little strong. And the flavors, they stay pretty candy-like. Creamsicle reminds me of like those fruit and cream lifesavers or cream savers. I don't know if those even exist anymore. A little bit like that. But there's no diacetyl notes in here or anything. There's not any buttery anything happening. It's pretty well made. I can see how it wouldn't knock the socks off lots of people because it isn't a huge dank juice bomb. It's like super candy-ish. It's surprising that this is actually made with, you know, green hops. There's no green notes at all. It's not resinous. There's no dankness coming out eventually. Yeah, and I'm still able to keep coming back for more on this, even though it is rather hot right now. I think if this was an actual, you know, milkshake lactose IPA, I wouldn't want it, but it has all those flavors of these, you know, creamsicle flavored pears, and I really enjoyed that. I guess there is a little bit of a citric bite in the finish that with very soft citrus, and it's weird because a lot of Goodfire's other beers, their double IPAs and stuff, the stronger ones, I found were really rather bitter, but this is not at all. I think it might just have to do with the Citra hops in part. The Citra, I feel like, is a little bit milder than Galaxy and, you know, other Southern Hemisphere hops. Yeah, I'm not getting too much of a weird aftertaste. I feel like it's just bringing a nice crisp quality through the minerality, because they definitely are doing some water treatment here to play with the mouthfeel, but it's not just tasting like all up, like straight up chewing on chalk. It's just enough to sort of dry out and balance all those candy sweet flavors, but that is a nice beer. I would probably stick with a 4.5 or, you know, close to 4.5 rating for this. And look at that, it's pretty beautiful beer. Highly recommend this one. I don't know if anyone will be trying to trade for this, but I think it's worth it. It's on par with a lot of other great New England IPAs. If you want one that's a little bit soft, not as dank and not as juicy, big on the soft candy sides, this is the one to go for. It's sort of juicy fruit, but definitely cotton candy. Yep, that's really nice. I'll just do a 4.5 for that. Goodbye.